life in sports, the college class, the rap and back. People, the highlight was a movie we ain't promised a sequel. Ambition, my second album, how was you sleeping? Dropped the album with sign for it, they thought I was tweaking. A prophet, a genius. I'm flying with Lena, I'm riding with Nina. One right for the shot.
So my ladies all across the globe, in small towns that I don't even know, to all local international goals, whether you see me in streets or catch me at shows, I'm calling. Maybe I'm selfish. I'm losing myself, I can't help it.
Yo, it's Mike Diango G, the host of the Rapper Cat Podcast, with a special guest with me today. I got Mr. Emmitt Lamarr. What's up, my guy?
What's good, bro? Glad to be here.
Alright, go ahead, introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I'm Emmitt Lamarr. No Limit Found on Instagram. I own 2 barber shops. I'm a former student at ODU. Own a couple other businesses as well. But I've been knowing Mike for almost 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. I used to be his barber when he was on campus. It's good to see him again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
For sure. So, first thing I gotta give you is the top 3. So, what are your top 3 favorite hairstyles to cut? What you do?
I'm gonna have to go with the classic taper, but the fade into the beard. That's one. I like the drop fade. That's like my favorite. More difficult, but it come out clean every time. And then I have to say, just like a design cut, like a freestyle design cut.
For real?
Yeah.
Word. So we was chopping it up beforehand, but it's a bunch of stuff that I gotta ask you, because I got so many questions. I feel like I moved from the 757, went back to the 804, and then your stuff just took off.
Yeah, right. A lot happened.
So first of all, like, what's your everyday routine like waking up, coming to work?
The normal wake up. Well, I try to change it up now. Like, I used to just wake up and check my phone, but I'm trying to get into more like conscious, affirm like affirmations and stuff like that. And so like my new goal is to wake up and an hour before I even start my day, just like don't touch my phone and just do stuff before like I got appointments or emails or whatever. Just do stuff like work out or cook breakfast. A lot of times you just get up and just leave. But like cooking breakfast, I try to cook like on a good day. I try to cook myself a breakfast like scrambled eggs, bacon, all that stuff. Unhealthy stuff, but you gotta start your day off with something.
Yeah,
great food. That's really what I do. I try to if I got time, I'll watch or listen to a podcast. A lot of podcasts that I listen to are very like business oriented, so they kind of keep me motivated, kind of help me to push for the next level.
What podcast you listen to?
Right now, I've been listening to it's called Social Proof. Yeah, they talk about it's a guy in Atlanta that interviews business owners in Atlanta that have reached $1 million or further in their respective industries. So like that's my goal to become to get to that level. So watching them daily kind of helps me think on a different level. So that's kind of really what's changed from last year to this year. Like
Just mentality.
Well, just feeding my mind with stuff that's productive instead of just like low level conversation type stuff. Who did what and where? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's I try to start my day off with that, and then I just, if I gotta come here and cut hair, I just try to get here early and set the vibe early and just go to work, man. Like, always promote. Even on days off, I post a picture, just, because people pay attention to everything you do.
Yeah.
Like, you may think, like, nobody's on social media, nobody cares, but people pay attention to what you post. So I try to do that, and it works, bro. Like, as long as you're consistent, like, nothing's going to stop you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
nothing. But yeah, that's it.
So what other businesses you got your hands into? Cause you've been like this since I've known you.
Yeah, bro. Like, it started off with cutting hair. I'll say that for sure. Eventually, it dived into just other things like how can I make money while I'm making money type stuff. So passive income. So we jumped into the vending machine game. That's been moving. We got about like 8 locations now. So yeah, it's crazy. Like warehouses, barbershops, salons, apartment buildings. That's been a huge, like, I never thought, apartment buildings would work, but it's been moving.
For sure, that late night snack.
Yeah, you don't feel like going to the convenience store. You need a vending machine. So that I jumped into the ATMs last year. That's been moving too. Did about seven of those. Those are like barbershops, salons. Got clothing stores, shoe stores. Like all of that is very. You'd be surprised. Like people just, you think car is what's king right now, but people still use cash. So yeah, that's been moving. I just jumped into the car rental game, and
I seen that,
bro. Like it's crazy, bro. Like, but people have like people need a car for stuff. You just gotta. As long as you're in a need-based business, like you're gonna win. Like people are always gonna need you. So like when somebody have a car issue, like car shut down, they gotta put it in the shop, and they don't have like rental insurance or something like that. They'll hit me up like, hey, I need a car. You got anything for me? I'm like, yeah, So I started buying more cars just to run them out, just because I work on my credit like early in the game, and then like from that podcast that I watched, I tapped into this guy named Pushman Mitch, and like he taps in crazy with the cars, bro. He has this play called Economy Car Play. So you get like a Prius or like a Honda or Ford, something that's high gas mileage. Like you get like 40 miles a gallon, buy it low for like $3,000-4,000. I'm renting out about a week. So I had like 2 cars that was going out for like $400 a week. People just paying it because they need a car, they need reliability, but they don't, want a car payment or have to go through that process,
Yeah.
So with the pandemic happening, a lot of people lost their jobs. They can't, they just got a job back, but they can't say they got, proven work history. So they just need to rent a car in order to get from A to B. So I'm your guy, you know what I mean? Like, so I just tap into that market, man. It's been crazy though. And then I put my bros on, and like they got like 4 or 5 cars each. So it's like, it's cool, bro. It's cool to see that come up. So car rentals, ATLs, vending machines. I want to get into Airbnbs, but I'm being patient, But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Big stuff wise.
So, how did you get 2 shops? Cause
man,
I didn't even know you owned the grind downstairs, downtown.
It was a grind, bro. Like for real, I tried to act like I was the owner, like mentally wise. You know what I mean? So, whenever it was time for me to go to work, I always went in early. I asked the owner, hey, can I come in before the shop opened, like an hour before? Like, yeah. Can I come in 2 hours before? Yeah. I started getting booked up 2 hours before. I'm like, I gotta add another hour. So shop don't open till 9. I'm here at 6 o'clock. Cutting hair, you know what I mean? And I'm there till they close. Like that just having that grind mentality, like you'll start making the money you want if you work for the money you don't make yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's just the mentality I had. And then, how people, just the way you treat people, like when customers come in, you gotta act like it's your place. Like, hey, how you doing? You speak to them like, welcome. You know what I mean? Some people just kind of like, nah, I don't talk to nobody. You know what I mean? Like, people remember that. They remember how you treat them. So I try to treat everybody nice and, outwork everything I could, So with that mentality, I was able to get offered a partnership with the shop. So I took advantage of it. And then, we were able to branch off, and I always wrote down like my goals and aspirations, and my goal was to always have like multiple shops. So like I would, like 2019, the owner of the shop had us write down our goals, and we all wrote our goals and sent it to him. And like my goal was to open the shop at ODU and like do workshops and teach people how to, personal finance and how to start a business. A lot of stuff that you could learn in school, but most people don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, just tapped into that and just ran with it, bro. So then when this opportunity came up, like I just started looking. Before we got here, we were looking at the old bookstore. They wanted bands for that place, like
For real?
too much money. We was like, yo, can you just cut us off a little section and then bring that out to us? It was like, nah, we want everything. Like,
Cause it's got the little one spot on the side too.
yeah, but it's like big in the middle of it. It's like huge. So yeah, we couldn't do that. So we was just waiting. It was like, all right, well, we'll just keep waiting. So then like it was like a little salon right next to where Chipotle is now.
Yeah.
That place opened up, and then we called in reference to that, and they were like, yeah, somebody got that. Now it's the Jersey Mike's. So yeah, so then they were like, yeah, that's booked up, but this the spot where Great Clips used to be is available. I'm like, what? Wait, left? Like that location?
Thank God.
Say less, man. Say less. So we set that up, and man, it's like it took a while, bro. We was like, dang, we got it set up, but like the paperwork took forever because the pandemic. So the city was working on their own time. So it was like we were calling them every day for like a week, bro. They was like, yeah, we'll get back to you. Like, dang, can y'all help us out? Like, so we finally got it open, but February 12th we opened. So that same week, bro, started going crazy. We got the vinyl up. We started doing $10 Tuesdays. Like, cats came out of nowhere. It was like, I thought y'all was out of school or something.
Yeah.
Like, we saw the sign, bro. Bye. It's like, all right, cool. So like, every week we just started tapping into more stuff we could do to, spruce the place up. Like, we got a sign up front. Like, that's when it got real. When the sign got put up and that light came on, it was like, we here. So yeah, that's how we working on another one, bro. Like, I'm not stopping, bro. Like, I'm on 10 of everything, tenfold. So, whatever I can do to help get to that level. Like I said, I'm working now so I can, make the money that level, can make. So, yeah, even on days off, like I'm filling vending machines, filling up ATMs,
Yeah, when I came in, you was filling vending machine.
Yeah, bro. Like sometimes it takes a little extra effort, but you get what you're working for eventually. So yeah, that's what I did.
Man, like it's just hard to, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't know, but we know. Like you was at the apartment buildings cutting hair, like had all the freshmen coming in to get their haircut. We all lined up on the wall, sitting down, sleep, waiting to get our haircut.
Bro, the futon on the floor, bro.
Yes.
Oh, the struggle.
We had that.
That was crazy.
Then you got the building over there by Kali. Yeah. Then you had that.
Yup. And the music studio.
Then you had the music studio.
Yeah. It was like a little room inside the music studio. And the crazy thing is, like, at that time I was just pulling up, cutting people's hair. And I pulled up on somebody that was in the studio. It was like, yeah, this is my studio. I was like, okay, cool. He was like, yeah, we got another room that we're not using. If y'all, you want to use it, you can. I'm like, word. All right, say less. So I pulled up the next day, barber chair in hand and everything. Like, that's the chair.
You pay or nothing?
No, I mean, it was like $150 a week. A month. $150 a month. But
that's slight.
Yeah, bro looked out. But yeah, like, once I got there, I was like, I'm on to something. That's when it hit. Cause I would leave work, bro. I was using PTO to get off work so I could come here and cut hair. Sheesh. Like that's the level of grind I was at. I was like, yo, I gotta see this through, cause the potential, bro. Like I was seeing other barbers, like, bro. I walked into another shop one time and I seen this barber had 3 chairs. I was like, hold on, ain't nobody else here cutting. It's just him. He go to the next chair. Next chair. 3 out, 3 more. Like what, bruh? In an hour he cut like 6 people, bro. $30 a head. I said, I need to tap into this a little bit.
Yeah,
so that's what
something wrong.
All it took was for me to see that, and I was like, yeah, it's some there's more to it if I just lean in. So I went 100%, bro. 100%, bro.
Ah, see. How did you end up at the VIP lounge first?
Man, I was cutting at the crib. Like, even after I left the studio, because it got shady. So I was like, yeah, I had to cut ties with that. So I left the studio and I just cut hair at the crib. And cut hair in my living room. I just would post pictures on IG, like consistency. Really, just kept posting, kept getting better. Kept watching videos at 3 in the morning, like how can I get better type stuff. And I would just keep posting on Instagram. And then the owner of the shop, Nato, shout out to Nato. He this is Nato on IG. But he found me on Instagram and messaged me like, yo, open up a shop on Granby. Love to have you there. And I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't really want to, work in a shop. Like, it's just me here. I can control my vibe. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't really know, But, man, I talked to my girl about it, and she was like, you could probably learn from them. And I was like, you know what? You're probably right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just was like, I'll just try it on a weekend. Went in there Saturday, Saturday and Sundays I would start working there part-time. And, man, from there it was just like, I started seeing clientele come back and build it. And the people that I was cutting was following me. It was like, yo, where you at? I'm pulling up. I'm like, all right, cool. So from there, it just started growing. And then October 19th, 2018, I quit my job, put my 2 weeks in, and went full-time barbering because my clientele was just building up, bro. I was working 9 to 5, and at 5 o'clock, I go to the shop and cut till 9 o'clock. I would cut like 10 people because I had seen it before, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, seeing it is definitely powerful. And I would say, like, that's it, bro. Like, you just gotta see it. Once you see it, write it down. Like, this is what I want to do. I used to have a list of all my clients for the month or for the week. I was cutting like 45 people in a week. Sheesh. Like, I'm talking pulling up to people. Like, every day I'm leaving work to go pull up to somebody's house. I do like 5 different cuts.
I remember you was doing house calls for me.
Yeah, bro. Like, and I wrote every client down, how much I was making. I was like, all right. But then when I saw like that barber made like all them cuts in the hour, I'm like, I gotta tap in, bro. So I started researching how to get faster, how to cut faster. It's just like whatever you see, you just gotta manifest it and then do your homework. That's it, bro. Wherever you want to be, just do your homework. But yeah, from there, I just was like, I gotta get faster. So I gotta get quicker. I want to be better. So I just started learning how to cut other styles, textures of hair. From there, it just grew, bro. Then with Nato, he taught me more the marketing side of it too. Like, how to use IG at certain times, how to post at certain times and get more, views, how to like and follow, how to comment on people's pictures and they tap in like, who is this person? You know what I mean? How to DM people like, hey, would love to get your, earn your business. People just, nobody does that. You know what I mean? So like, as long as you're genuine, people gonna see that grind and appreciate it.
So how do you post? Cause I still am confused on the algorithm of Instagram.
So like for real, if you really want to get busy, you want to post 3 posts a day, and then on your story, like 7 to 12. It ain't even got to be just the same thing over and over, but maybe something else, like somebody else's stuff. You just share it. Like a lot of times, I don't even post haircuts anymore. It'll be one of my clients got a fitness training, and I'll post them. Or you got a podcast, you got an episode, I'll post that. You know what I mean? So it's like when you put everybody else on, people start tapping in. Like, okay, well, your network is crazy in barbering. Like with anything you do, you can really build a network. But like in barbering, everybody does something, bro. So it's like if you can tap into that and then get their Instagram and then post them, or like you cut a person and you put their Instagram in the photo, you're tapping into their followers as well.
Exactly.
So like that's really it. Organically, the people you meet, just use it. Use it.
So everybody that you meet, do you like promote your brand, your business, or whatever that you do, or do you just kind of go off of the vibe?
You gotta go off the vibe. Some people are not gonna talk. Period. Like they just like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
You just gotta go off the vibe. They're talkative. They're more, open to telling you about what they do. Yeah, you could definitely tap into that. Like, it's people that I've earned business through just by talking, conversation. So that was my biggest thing. Like, I learned that too. We went to like a barber conference. That was my first time going to a barber conference in 2018. That changed the game for me, bro. Like,
for real?
Yeah, bro. Like, this is one dude named Ivan Zoot. He wrote a book called The Millionaire, $100,000 Haircutter. And like, that was my goal, to be able to make six figures in the game. And so like, I read that book and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, every day was like a journal. Like, day 38, like, go to an elementary school and be a volunteer for their career day, and then offer to cut kids' hair for back to school or something like that. But little things like that, it's like you either give a cut away for free or you charge a full price. If you do discounts, it's just going to make people like, maybe it's not really worth it.
Right.
That's why they discounted it. But if you give it away free, somebody gonna show up because they feel like, I need this, or I want to take advantage of it. And then that person becomes a client because they're gonna like their services. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just the game, bro. Like, that really kind of leveled my career up, for real.
That's crazy that you said that, talking about discounts, because everybody be talking about your stuff is too expensive or whatever. Like, what made you like stick to your guns when it came to that? Because it's so easy to fall into discounts and all that.
Everybody is willing to pay the right price for the right service. So if you're going to get a massage or something, whatever they tell you their prices are, either you're going to see the value in it or you're going to find somebody else. You know what I mean? So you're willing to pay, but it got to be the right price for the right service. It's just if you discount it, like, you're taking the value away. You know what I mean? But the thing is, when you provide a service, it has to be more than what you're charging for. So like, you can't just charge $100 and give $50 worth of service.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna feel bad about that. They're gonna let you know. But if you offer $100, you need to be offering $150 worth of service. So like, with that, just always under promise and over deliver, and nobody will ever complain. Nobody ever complain.
So what do you do in your business as like a barber that separates you from all the other barbershops?
I mean, it's really personality, because man, there's a lot of shops that can cut really good hair. I mean, and I just try to provide good customer service. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everybody can cut hair. It's just about what you can do beyond that. Are you consistent? Are you always there, or people gotta always look for you? You know what I mean? So for me, I just try to be consistent. And you always gotta give more than you looking to receive.
Right.
So if somebody's late, I'm not per se charging 100%. I'm gonna charge you a late fee. Like, nah, I'm gonna look out. If it's consistently late, all right, we gotta have a conversation, because you wasting my time and yours. But like, for the most part, I try to come in early. I think that's one thing that people value, is like being able to come in early. We open at 10. I'm here at 6 on Saturdays. You know what I'm saying? Just because I got clientele and booked, bro. Like, I'm not here for no reason, but like, it's booked. You know what I mean? People want to come in early, beat the crowd. They want to beat traffic, or they got stuff to do that day. They rather get that cut in and out. You know what I mean? So I try to be consistent in that, and I feel like that's what sets me apart.
Jeez. So what was it like establishing like the culture for your brand and for your business here at the barbershop and all around?
Man, for the brand, I would say like Corporate Cuts was more of a brand of mobile barbering. So I still do house calls to this day, and I'll go pull up. I still try to be as professional as possible, and a lot of my clientele are very I say high caliber clientele. So for that reason, I feel like that's what you attract what you are. So if you present yourself in a certain way, as being professional, as being polite, you'll attract those type of people that want that type of person around them. But if you're like, I do me, nothing else matters, you're gonna attract that type of person. So people are gonna respect you based on how you respect yourself. So yeah.
So, all in all, I don't think I even asked you this. Like, what made you want to cut hair? Didn't your dad cut hair?
My dad. I saw when I was a kid. I saw my dad cut my grandfather, but he wasn't a barber per se.
Okay.
But then like I was in, I would say 11th grade, and my barber, it was ring dance. Man, I'll never forget. My barber like messed up my hairline for some reason. I don't know how, bro. And to this day, it's like, dang, I had went back one time, like when I was in college after I started cutting hair for real, just to see if like, you know, is it the same or
Right.
But yeah, bro, it was the same. I was like, dang, man, like he was a cool dude, but it's just that one time I was like, dang, this is what I need you the most. So that's what clicked in my head. Like consistency is 100% like needed, because like you never know what that person got to do that day, but they need to be A1. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like after that experience, I was like, yeah, I need to start cutting my own hair, because I would go home and try to fix what I didn't like. Was my dad took me to the thrift store and I bought some clippers for like $8. I bought some endless trimmers for $8, and I started edging myself up. And then my friend was like, "Yo, who got your hair?" I was like, "I did it myself." He was like, "Line me up," and I was like, "All right, cool." So I started lining my friends up in high school, and then when I got here, I was cutting my own hair, doing fades and tapers and everything on myself. I go to band practice. I was in the band, and everybody was like, "Yo, who cut your hair?" Like, you know, it was Great Clips here. Nobody was trying to go, so you know, I'm walking around with a fresh cut every time. So I'm like, yeah, I cut my own hair. He's like, yo, you gotta line me up. Like, all right, cool. So I just started cutting people in the band, people in the dorm. I'm in the freshman dorms back here in Rogers East. People walking around like, yo, you cut hair? Like, yeah. He was like, all right, I got next. And we'll sit down in the lobby. Like,
that's crazy.
Just wait. I'm like, yo, the whole little common room turned into a barbershop. It was crazy. Somebody went to their room, grabbed a PS3 or whatever game, and we played 2K, haircuts. Like, it was a whole cut party.
That's crazy.
Like, it was crazy. So, like, word spread, it would get to the point where I'm going to the gym and I'm balling, and somebody would just walk up to me like, bro, I heard you cut hair. I'm like, yeah, t-shirt on or something. Like, how you know? Like, but yeah. So then it was like, I was booking people at the gym. So it was cool, bro. Like, word of mouth spread, and then I was like, yo, I just gotta like brand this and run with this, because I'm getting busy. But it was, you know, time management thing too. It's like I should have been at the library. I'm over here cutting hair. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, that's really how it grew. From there, I was like, all right, I can see where this is going. So I definitely want to own some shops. I just start writing down my ideas, and then like from there, bro, like I got notebooks. I tell you, I got notebooks.
Same, bro.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's just manifesting, bro. Like every day, just look up something that kind of pushes you in that direction where, like, all right, this is my goal. You know, I'm gonna look forward to. Man, I was at work at my last job before I quit. I was watching haircut videos, bro. I bought an online course. I got 2 screens. In the bottom right corner is a little video, or I had in my ear, and I was just watching haircut videos. My manager walked by, click, click. But if she go sit down, click, right back at it. Like, that's how I was getting better. So like, just taking that time, like take a little bit of time. I'm not saying do that at work on somebody else's time, but definitely like tap in, you know, wherever you want to be, and just keep inching forward to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much time, I would say, in the off season or during your off time, do you put into your craft? How many hours would you say, like a day or minutes a day?
Outside of, you know, main time frame, I would say like 30 minutes, bro. It sounds minutes like small, but 30 minutes. If you really just tap in 30 minutes, it's like working out. If you work out for an hour or 30 minutes a day, like consistently, you're gonna see results. Like, that's it. 30 minutes. Cause eventually 30 minutes, that's how I used to learn how to play sax. So we had to do 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day back in middle school. And I would like do an hour, just cause once you get started, it takes 30 minutes to just get warmed up and get acclimated to what you're doing. And then you don't want to stop, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's gonna turn into more time, but I say just take that 30 minutes daily and like block it out. Like, turn your phone off, block out whatever else
Yeah, I was
is
about to
going
say
on.
30 minutes is meaningful, like not just like, all right, 30 minutes, let me check my phone, let me go
Right.
do this, let me do that.
Because you spend 30 minutes on your phone a day. Like, you spend hours on your phone, really, but a day. If you add all that time, you just pick it up and put it back down, it's like 30 minutes and come and gone in 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah, definitely tap in with that.
So, two-part question.
Mhm.
Where did you work before, like once you graduated and stuff like that, and what was the defining moment when you were like financially, mentally, where you were like, I'm ready to leave?
Okay, cool. Good question. So after college, I went to work at a bank. I was a teller, and then it was a year of being there. And after that year, they had like a review, and then I did well in the review, but they were opening up new locations, and they wanted to move me to Chesapeake. I was in Norfolk. They wanted to move me to Chesapeake, and I was like, there's nothing there, like nothing. Like it's a farm fresh in an old neighborhood, and it's just like regulars, There's nothing there. Like nobody buying new homes or getting new stuff. Like, so they want me to push sales, and I'm like, how? Like everybody's retired, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, this is not a winning situation. So I was like, all right, Then I had a manager that told me like sometimes you gotta look elsewhere within your field to get more value. So that's what I did. I started looking at other jobs, and I found one of my clients referred me to this company called PRA. I started working there. It's a debt collection company, and I wasn't working on the call side. I was more in the legal. Like they had a legal department, so I was in the legal department. I started doing like dockets and just doing stuff like that. It was like boring work, but consistent. You know what I mean? I had benefits and everything, so it was cool. I was like, this ain't it. I'm like, it's got to be something else. I'm at work applying for other jobs in that company. So like in 3 years, I had 4 positions. So I went from like legal mail clerk to docket clerk to custodian of records to auditor in like 3 years. Cause I would like every 3 months I would get bored. I would get bored. I was like, oh, what's next? So like I just always look for that next big thing. So when I got to auditor, that was a good challenge, just because I was like, I need something that's gonna make me work, make me think. It was a challenge because I was managing law firms accounts that it sounded cool.
Yeah.
But it got to the point at 3 to 6 month point, it got to the point where I got bored, bro. I'm talking like we in a meeting, I'm dozing off. Oh man, it was bad. So I was like, I gotta do something else. So that's when I was like, still cutting hair along this whole process. And that's when I went to the conference. I went to the PTO to go to that barber conference. And meeting those people, it was a panel of not judges, but people that were like high ranking in the barber industry. Like they had their own product line, they had shops, they had schools, and tapping into the way they thought and how they like promoted mastery of your skill. I was like, I gotta get into this. So when I came back, I just started going crazy with the marketing. Like I was cutting, I was trying to get better at my cuts, but the marketing really is what changed everything. Like, promoting myself and not caring what people thought. You know what I mean? Like, be annoying. You know what I mean? Like, dang, they always posted. You think about me, thank you. Put that appointment. So like, yeah, like once I got into the marketing to that next level, yeah, everything just started to change. And then once I had to write down a dollar figure that I needed to make in order to quit my job. Because to me, it was like, dang, I got this far in the job in the company, and I got these benefits. The benefits is the only thing, like 401k and all of that.
Yeah.
That was like, dang, how am I going to replace that if I just take this leap? I came to the realization that like you can pay for that yourself. You know what I mean? Like I still got 401k, I still got life insurance, health insurance, all of that. It come out of pocket, yes, but I'm making way more money like than I was, sitting there trying to be satisfied in my benefits. And so like that's literally like what changed my mindset as far as like going into entrepreneurship. That's definitely what what will help me get to that next level, take the leap.
So, I know you said something about your credit. I ain't gonna be too nosy and ask you what your credit score is, but like, were you working on, what were you buying like with your credit card to like build your credit? Because a lot of people, especially black people, a lot of black people don't understand like credit cards are not for you to live off of and then like just pay a little bit back every time. Like you buying stuff for $200 and you paying $50 a month or whatever, and you wondering why your credit score not going up.
Yeah.
So how did you even handle that?
It's just about changing your perspective of what credit is, bro. Like, for real, like, credit is the key. Like, the key. Like, I bought my first car, and my credit was like, maybe like a 500. So, like, I didn't have anything on it. Like, and so when I bought my first car, it was like terrible buy. Like, they charged me crazy finance because I didn't know how to buy a car. Yeah. Like, I just went there and was like, hey, I need a car. This one look cool. Let's do it. So they ran my credit crazy to all these different banks, and they charged me a finance fee. The finance fee was more than a car. It was like $8,000. The car was $6,000. It was like seven grand. They charged me like $8,000 for financing.
Good Lord.
Yeah, bro. So like, people don't know, but like that's why I want to, like, you know, get in here. I want to teach a lot of this stuff, not per se me, but have experts come and teach all this stuff because we don't know. Like, I took a whole personal finance class at ODU. They didn't talk about how to buy a car.
Talk about none of that.
They just like, oh, here's like, hey, here's a tax form. Didn't explain it, but this is it. This is what to look for. Yeah, this is what it looks like.
Exactly.
So when you get a job, you know, you can file your taxes with whoever, you know, H&R Block or whatever. But yeah, so I just started tapping into these things like on YouTube, bro. I just went on like how to like raise your credit score, little stuff like that. YouTube University is like the vending, the ATMs, the barber shops, like everything I'm doing now is because I learned it from YouTube, not from college, from YouTube, bro. Because it's real world experience. People that's done it, people that's doing it, they show you what mistakes they made. Like, you don't learn mistakes in college. You just like, this is the blueprint. This is what other people have done. But like on YouTube, they tell you like, yo, I jacked my credit up. This how I got it back. Right. So yeah, like I tapped into that. When I bought that car, I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? So I ended up like trading it in for something else. Guess what? They rolled that debt over to the next car. So it's like, I was like, there's no escaping it. So at a certain point, I just like, all right, I need to go find out the information to get my credit right. So I tapped into this guy named M500, and he talks about a lot of ways to get stuff removed from your credit and how to do it yourself. Or if you want to go through somebody, you can pay somebody to do it. But you can do it yourself, like sending letters to the credit bureaus, and they'll tell you like, you know, you can backdate it like 2 weeks when you send it to them, and they gotta remove it from your credit because, you know, if it's wrong, you know what I mean? But a lot of stuff like that, little stuff like that, will take negative items off your credit, and that's really what jumped my score up 100 points. So I went from like maybe like a 613 or something like to like 713. I'll jump just from that one thing coming off. So like, yeah, just building that up, and then a lot of times like getting cards and writing down the utilization, writing down the date that it's due. A lot of times you spend money and don't even think about it, but you really gotta write that information down, because if you can pay that money down before they hit your credit, your score will go up because your utilization's down. And a lot of people will say like keep it below 30%, keep it at 5. It sound crazy? 5%? 5%, bro. You'll see like it crazy. Yeah. But if you do that, you'll see the results. Like within 3 months, you'll see the results. Like I'm talking like 800s, like power moves made. Like I got to 800 and started buying cars, like for rental cars. I bought 3 cars in like within 6 months. Like you can definitely buy cars. Like I seen a guy. I watched that podcast, Social Brew. I watched the podcast and I seen a dude buy 33 cars in 2 weeks. And he rents them all out. Crazy, right? But it's like seeing something like I saw that barber cut all those heads. I seeing that guy buy all those cars. It made me like, okay, I can buy 3. You know what I mean? I can rent them out. I can make some money off of them. Bruh, that bottom line crazy. Leave that there. But like I'm telling you, bro, like just getting your credit right. That's the key, because I couldn't get cars if my credit wasn't right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then learning how to buy cars. Like, you don't go to the dealership like, hey, I want to buy a car. Can you finance it for me? No, go to the bank first. You talk to the bank like, hey, I want to get pre-qualified for a certain amount for a car, and then you can go shop around. And then you don't tell the dealer you even got pre-approved. Like, hey, let's talk about the price of this car. They'll bring the price down to where you want it. All right, here's a check. You ain't gotta worry about it, bro. It's like Capital One. A lot of these like credit card companies, they got car financing too, and they'll pre-approve you. So you take that and go get a car, and you won't have to put no money down because you got your credit right. You know what I'm saying? So these little key pieces are monumental. That's how you get there.
Wow.
And so like recently, I bought a Tesla. I bought that Tesla,
That's
and
sweet.
bruh, I love it. It's crazy because like that was my dream car. Like I was up late watching videos on how to drive it, cross country type stuff. So like I got the Tesla and my score shot up because I got it the right way. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, bro, you just gotta do it the right way, but you gotta do a little bit of research before, you know. But outside of that, man, that's really how I got my credit up. Is really understanding how it works. So like I got a lot of cars, but I would keep them like at like 3 to 5%. If I use it to 10, I pay it down to 5 or 3. Sometimes I would pay it down to 2, just to let it hit. So like when it hit the credit, what? Talk to me nice, you know. But yeah, that's the game.
How many credit cards do you have?
Like 17.
17?
Not saying go get 20 cars
Right.
at once, but eventually I just kept like, okay, let me add this one, let me add that one. Then I started getting business cards. Business credit cards, they'll give you more credit than they would, you know what I'm saying, for a personal. So like, say a personal card, you ask for, a credit card, they'll give you like 500 just because they don't know you like that. But you ask for, open up a business, get your LLC, take your paperwork to the bank, they'll give you 5,000 off jump, off rip. You know what I'm saying? But you keep that utilization low. And the business credit, the thing about business credit, they don't measure the utilization, and it doesn't show up on your personal credit. So like you can have a bunch of business cards, in your business name, maybe like 1 or 2 cards in your personal name, and it'll still look good on your credit because you keep your utilization low on your personal credit. You know what I mean? So it's a lot to it, bro. But like I said, I just watch these little videos on YouTube University, and like you'll learn a ton of information.
So we gotta unpack this a little bit more because these is gems.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't even know that. So, breaking down like, how was it like getting your LLC, your business license, and how did you go about the process of like getting a business account?
Yeah, so I went to like sec.va. It's a website you can go to and get your business license. They'll email it to you, and then you can go to the irs.gov and apply for your tax ID number. They give it to you on this maybe like within an hour or 2 hours, or a day or 2 days, and they email it to you. So you take those 2 documents and you go to the bank like, hey, I have a business and I want to open up a business account. And then they ask for those 2 things. They ask for your income as far as like, how much money you make or plan to make from the business or have made from the business. And they open up your account. Then when they open up your account, you can either put like $100 or $200 in there, depending on the account, and you're open. Then they ask you if you want to open up a business credit card. Like, just in case, you never know. So once you do that, like, you're in business, bro. Like, it's not saying that's what you need to have a business, but that definitely legitimizes your business in a way where you can expand and, take care of stuff that you need to. And then a lot of times, a lot of stuff you spend for your business is a tax write-off. So, you take a trip for your business. Recently, I took a trip to Miami for a business conference, a barber conference. It was on Sunday. But I went from Friday to Monday. That whole trip was a write-off because it was for business.
So how do you do that when it comes to taxes? Like, do you have to keep like a record
You
of.
definitely want to keep a record of everything. So what I do is I use my credit card for everything.
Okay.
The same credit card I use it, so that way when I get my credit card statement, everything that I use is right there. It's, it's record of it. So if I want to just put it on the QuickBooks or just write it down just for record keeping purposes, when I take it to my tax accountant or tax preparer, like everything's all on paper. You know what I mean? There's no question. So yeah, you can just do it like that. Keep it simple.
So have you ever paid like in cash or like with your debit card? Like would you just screenshot that and keep the?
I mean, you can. I mean, if you use your debit card, it's gonna show up on your account. So on your statements again. So one thing I've done is personally, like not from business, but personally, I'll use a credit card for all my expenses, and then I'll just pay that credit card off. That way, I get rewards. So you get a rewards card, you get like 2 or 3% for everything you do. You get that rewards money, and that like helps you out whatever you need. So for business, on the business side, I use my card and I get rewards. And like I had used my rewards, expenses like lights, water, gas bill, all these things, cable, all that gets paid on the credit card. And then when this rewards comes back, I use that for the trip that I went on. So like my plane ticket was like $400. I took $130 off of that, off of rewards. You know what I mean? So it's like you already working for it. You might as well make it work for you.
Yeah.
So that's the game for that.
So what's the process like then after getting all that straight, like your credit and all that? How is it like trying to buy a building or a piece of land? Like how complicated is that really?
Man, that process is brutal. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if you have somebody to kind of hold your hand through the process, you can really, do well with it. My thing was, I wasn't as educated on. You got to know who you're talking to. Like, certain banks don't specialize in mortgages. You got to know exactly what they specialize in. So if you're going to get a house or land, talk to a lender directly, like somebody that does that all day, every day, because they have more connections on how to get you to that next level and, smooth out the process. What I did, I went through like Navy Fed, and it was like, this person didn't know what that person was talking about. These two people supposed to have the same position.
Right.
And none of them know what to tell me. I get to the end and they're like, oh yeah, we didn't get this information from the beginning, so we can't do this. Like, what?
That's crazy.
Right. So like, you want to make sure, people you're talking to are experiencing what they're doing. Not new.
Yeah, so what would you recommend then for like businesses? Like if you had a clothing brand or you had a podcast, what like type of bank would you recommend then for people to start with? Starting off with?
I think it's really something that you have to narrow down to. Like, I would say go to YouTube. You know what I mean? Like if you got a t-shirt business, like, hey, best bank for you t-shirt business. Or if you got podcast, best bank for a podcast, something like that. So that's what I did, and for me, it was Bank of America because I hadn't been with them so long. Personally, I already had a relationship built with them, and then Wells Fargo as well. Yeah.
So you didn't have any fees like monthly to open up accounts or anything like that?
Not really. Well, for business, you're gonna have a fee. That's just how it works. It's like $15 a month. That's what Bank of America charged me. And I think it was like the same for Wells Fargo. So I'm sure there are accounts out there. Like if you find like a newer bank, a credit union is best. Credit union will give you more than a bank will try to. You know what I mean? Right. They give you better rates. They give you better service. In my opinion. So I definitely say go through a credit union first. But it's good to have multiple accounts. I would say just a back burner. Like I like Bank of America because they're everywhere. Wells Fargo is everywhere. Right. A credit union might be just in your city. You know what I mean? So that's how I move with that. But based on your needs, you know what I mean?
So sticking with just buying property and stuff like that, like how did you buy your house and all that? And do you own multiple houses?
No, I haven't bought a house yet.
Okay.
But I was in the process last year.
Okay.
Like early this year.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, because this market is crazy, bro. Like I probably would have been good now, but I think the place that I was trying to get was not for me. And so like I just accepted that, and I was like, I gotta be patient with it because like that process is crazy. Like they analyze a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah, they analyze a lot. So like your spending, whatever, anything that's on your credit, they'll look at that. Like your habits, anything. So like definitely do your research on like the house buying process. If you need to use cash flow, you want to make sure you got savings, like savings. Like the thing that got me, it was like they had this program where it was 100% financing, and I was like, cool. And it was like, so I ain't had to come out of pocket, no down payment, but it's like at the same time they want to see like 6 months of payments, like can you sustain, you know what I mean? And like at the time I had most of my money tied up in investments, so it was like it was a whole like back and forth about that. So I was like, okay, now, and going forward I need to know like, all right, let me make sure I just build up that savings and don't touch it. Yeah, just have that to the side because you don't want to have to go through that whole back and forth. So yeah,
because during that process your credit has to stay consistent, right? Yeah.
And I was using my credit to invest in certain things. So you just want to be meticulous, like detailed in everything you do. But this time next year I have more for you on the road. I'm determined, bro. I'm determined.
You said you want to get into the Airbnb business.
Yeah, bro. Cause it's crazy. Like it's like car rentals, bro. Like seeing how much money you can make in car rentals is crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like I'll tell you the details. So I got one car I bought, and it was like the payment was like $200 a month. Bro, I had somebody renting that car for a whole month at like $60 a day, and I was like, hold on, $60 a day? That's like $900 or $1,800. $1,800 off of a $200 investment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's crazy. Like you can do that though. But Airbnb is another level too because like you can get a house and your payment could be like $1,000. You're renting it out for like $200 a night. $200 a night times 30, or say you got 20 nights. That's like $4,000. Yeah. So it's like, but buying a house, if I had that's the thing. Like if I had bought a house, I might have just been paying mortgage and may not have been making any money off of it. But again, at Airbnb, the mortgage could be paid for in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Yeah. By somebody else. So like, that's my next goal.
So how do you judge like whenever you're investing? And first of all, what are some of your investments? And then my second part is how do you determine whether it's too risky or if it's a great investment?
A lot of times you gotta go with your gut with the investment. Like if it feel risky, 9 times out of 10 it is. If it feel like okay, if it's simple, the simpler it is, the better. If it's like like ATMs, like transaction fee, you're not losing any money. You know what I mean? If there's no traffic, then you're not making a lot of money. But if there's more traffic, you're definitely making money. But it's simple. Like it's not like the money is going somewhere. It's just a transaction fee. So whatever that transaction fee is, you're making that. Right. So it's simple. Like the simpler your investment, the better. Like that's it. I mean, I got some stock investments and it's cool, but like it goes up and it goes down. Like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency goes up and goes down.
That's what I was gonna ask.
So like, I jumped into cryptocurrency like when the pandemic happened, but I had to let it go. Like, cause I was in there. Like I was in what was it called? It was a cryptocurrency. They had those academies and stuff like that. Went from there and I was like, yeah, this sounds cool, but like I'm really gotta listen to a call like 3 times a day. Like I got other stuff to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm trying to learn, and it's just time consuming. It's like super detailed, and I see people making money, but I'm not making a lot of money off of it. So it's like, let me just keep it simple. You know what I mean? Let me go do something that I can touch. Like I can grab the money out this machine. You know what I mean? I can grab the cash out this vending machine. I can put these chips in there. I know they're gonna sell because people will want it. Right. So the simpler it is, I would say, the better. So like it's like a need-based business, you're always gonna win. Like people need cars, people need cash, people need food. Like you can't lose with that. Just try to keep the essentials within reach. And you'll always win.
So how much is your percent of profit whenever you're doing all this? Like, do you look and be like, okay, I gotta at least get 150% profit or markup or whatever it is?
Yeah, I mean, for real, it's really about your preference. For me, starting out, it was a small percentage. I was like, okay, if I can get a 10% return, like think about it. You put money in stocks, you'll get like maybe 10, 20, like maybe 10%. You know what I mean? You'll put a lot of money into that. But if you could get like chips, like we'll get a chip for a box of chips come in a box of 50. We sell it for $1. We bought a box for like $15. So if it's 50 in there, it's like 30 cents a pack. We're selling for $1. That's 70 cents of profit. So like the simpler it is, like it makes sense. You know what I mean? So we're getting like what 100 and maybe 200, 300%, like 200% on that. I can't lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. And it's not a lot of money, but it's scalable. You can get more machines. You can put more, items in there. That's what I like to invest in, things that are scalable. So like my goal is to get to like 10 by the end of the year. If I got 10 vending machines, 10 ATMs, I'll get to the point where I can be living passively. Hopefully, the goal is to get to 10 barbershops too, but I'm patient.
I mean, you already working on the third one.
Yeah, step by step.
So, when you putting these vending machines up, like you said, you don't have a fee. Like you just talk to the owner, and you're just like,
yeah. I mean, you just gotta. It's about presentation. Like you gotta talk to people, like figure out what their need is. Like if they're looking for a vending machine. Like, hey, are you interested in a vending machine? Yeah. All right, cool. So what we'll bring to you is free installation, and we'll manage it for you. You can be hands free. That's a win-win because like all they want is consistency. They just want something that they can. Hey, I got it right here, and you can provide that. I think you'll always win. But a lot of times, you gotta know who you're dealing with too. Because some people like they want a piece of the pie, and that's okay. But you gotta know that at that point, you gotta know what your point is, where you're not working for yourself anymore. You're working for somebody else.
right.
So you always want to make sure you come out on top with your investments with that. And then like your time, you want to make sure that you got control of your time too, because sometimes we'll jump into stuff and like you don't have no time for yourself and you feel burnt out, and that's the last thing you want to be.
So buying all of this, like the barbershops are decked out. Did you buy all of it at once, or did you accrue it over time?
Over time.
Okay.
Over time. We start with the bare minimum first. Once we got the walls up, walls painted, put some chairs in here. These chairs aren't brand new. Like that's my chair that I first bought when I first started cutting hair. So it's like we're building. The next thing is chairs, but it was step by step. We definitely we got the bones in there first, but after that we just started adding piece by piece because it's nice when you can come somewhere and like, what's new in here today? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like one of my clients, shout out to Reggie, he created this Africa piece right here, and like I was cutting him while he was making them. You know what I mean? He was telling me about it, like, yeah, that's what I'm working on. And I was like, bro, that's dope, bro. Like, I'd love to get that in the shop one day. He was like, yeah, I got you. So like a year later, he finally brought it to the shop. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So it's like, and he's selling it. So if anybody want to buy it, he can. But now, he got another piece over here that already sold, the Biggie piece. That piece is pretty dope. But like,
Oh wow, I didn't even notice.
and in the background it has like Ben Franklin in the background. Like
Oh
$100 bills.
yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so like little details like that, I like to promote his work. So like you'll see me post this stuff on my story, just because like I just enjoy seeing his work and I want to see him grow. It's like recently he just quit his job to go full time in art. So like that entrepreneurial spirit is definitely contagious. But like finding little pieces like that is like A1, bro. You can't miss.
No, facts. I need a piece from him.
I got a couple of his pieces at my crib.
That Biggie piece is crazy.
Yeah, bro. But he does that, like, you can contact him. That's how I put his QR code in here, so people can contact him. He does, pro bono art and, customized art for people that want to order it, whatever. Yep.
So what are you looking forward to in 21 business wise?
Efficiency. Like, not even just, more businesses or more items. It's just like running smooth. Get it to the point where I can hire someone. My goal is to get 10 because I want to be able to hire someone and manage it. And it not be like them just, waiting for work. I want to have enough work for that person and they feel like they got something to do every day. And so if I can get to that point, I think we'll be in a better position to expand and scale. Because I feel like I just started reading this book called Who Not How. It's crazy, bro. Like, it's talking about how Jordan got to Chicago and couldn't win for 6 years because he had a how mentality. Like, how can I do this? And it's more of about who can I bring in to help me achieve this goal. So that's the mindset I'm trying to tap into this year. I think that's going to help us be able to scale to where we want to be.
And how did you build your team, like people that you were just like, I know I can depend on them, they're going to be an asset to me and not a liability?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about creating a family environment. You gotta let people know that we take care of each other, and we're not out to just be greedy and get money and just run the bag up. It's more about how can we help that next person with, what are your goals? Like, caring about that next person and showing them like, hey, we're all working together to help each other win. Like, since we opened up this shop, I think 3 more businesses is on the way. You know what I mean?
Sheesh.
Like, one of our barbers opened up a moving company. Another barber is working with that barber to start a product line for like oils, essential oils and stuff like that. Another one of our barbers just started their LLC. So it's like, it's a lot coming down the pipeline. It's just a matter of like letting people know like, hey, we here to see you win. So I think that's what helps you build that team that's willing to work with each other. And as long as we all get along, I think you can't lose. Like, even if some people have moved on, and even the people that have moved on, they're doing well because I like to say because they were in an environment where we kind of helped foster everybody to grow and dig deeper in their bag.
Right.
Yep.
So how did, with you saying all this, like you saying a lot going on, how do you manage your like personal life then with everything going on?
Man, time management is key, for real. I would say time management is super key. And I think going forward, like we just block out time. Like, I block out time to spend with loved ones. Like, certain days, like we're off 2 days a week. So, well, I'm off 2 days a week. We're closed on Wednesdays, but I take Wednesdays to kind of spend time with family, go do personal, stuff for myself, and just kind of promote growth. I tap into, the podcast and, further learning, YouTube and stuff like that. I just take that time on those days and like really just, and taking trips, man. Like, really taking a trip will definitely clear your mind. So sometimes you gotta change your environment to change your environment,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Last question, what is something that you would give as a piece of advice to all the entrepreneurs out there?
Double down on your dreams. Like, whatever your dream is, go 110%, 200%. So, if it take a little bit of sacrifice, be okay with that. Like, know that it's gonna pay off in the long run. Like, when I was out doing house calls in college, and I could have been at home playing video games or chilling, or doing whatever. But I was like, I gotta double down because I know in the future it's gonna pay off. So double down on your dreams. That's it.
For sure. So wrapping it up, just got one scenario for you. If you were born into a wealthy family, what family would you choose to be born in? Celebrity or not?
Dang, that's crazy. Nobody's ever asked that question. Wealthy family. I would have to say, I would say Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It's like, you can't lose. I mean, just because of the mindset. Like, I feel like once you're around success and wealth and stuff like that, like, you think different. Like, nobody's gonna tell you like what you can't do because they done the impossible already. So yeah, definitely Beyonce, Jay-Z.
For sure. But it's been another episode of the Rapper Cap Podcast with boy Emmitt. You can follow him at
no_limit_foul.
Facts. You can follow me, Mike the Young OG, on IG. You can follow the podcast at RAPORCAP podcast. For following on Twitter, move the T and add the 1, and